welcome to Renee Marketing, where we talk about lead generation marketing strategies to help your business grow. I'm Renee, I'm a marketing specialist, and today we're going to be walking through the steps of creating a lead magnet or how to go about setting up a lead generation strategy. So a couple of videos ago, I talked about a couple of lead generation strategies that I like to use. So specifically lead magnets, so a piece of collateral that you promote on your website or social media that your audience will give you their email for. So that is one strategy. Webinars, so putting on a educational presentation for your attendees. And the third one I talked about was digital advertising, so like promoted posts on social media or Google search or display ads, something like that. So today I'm going to talk about and kind of take things from my perspective onto my computer and how I would start my digital or my lead generation strategy. So in my last video, I talked about some lead generation marketing strategies, and today I want to talk more specifically about how to go about making your lead magnet, which is just a piece of content that you create in exchange for your target audience's email address. And after you get their email address, you can send more content to them to let them know that you're the right brand or fit for them, and eventually sell to them. So that's a process called lead nurturing. So you need to get the email address, put them through a lead nurturing process, and then eventually they may buy from you or leave your marketing list. But whatever it may be, you need to start with getting an email address. And I just wanted to remind you that this funnel is the goal of your lead magnet, and all your lead outreach efforts is to get people who start off in this beginning stage where they just are learning about your brand and you're learning about your audience, all the way through to this end stage of selling and the customer finally making a decision about whether they're going to buy from you or not. And this whole process in the middle is the lead nurturing. So building more awareness through different content, finding exactly who of these leads are most likely to buy from you. So that's kind of the focus of these lead magnets that we're going to be talking about today. I wanted to highlight this content pillar plan in my template section of my website. I'll link that below. But something else you want to be thinking about when you're deciding on what lead magnets to create is the topics that your brand covers. So each brand should kind of have, the benchmark is about 5 topics that all of their content falls under. So in order to stay on brand, on message, you want to keep your content pretty specific to kind of what your brand is trying to tell your audience. So I did an example of this on this second tab in the template. I just broke up a lot of my blog posts into kind of the main categories that my content falls into as an example. But I would start to think about, okay, what is on brand for me? What are the biggest pain points that I need to address? Kind of considering this template before you choose a topic for your lead magnet. Okay, so after I wanted to add this in a webinar audience research document that I created also on my template section, because webinars are an example of a great lead magnet tool. So after you come up with your topic, you need to figure out your method of actually generating leads. Is it through a digital ad and it's a lead generation form attached to the ad? Are you asking for an email address in exchange for like a checklist or a PDF of some sort, an ebook? Webinars are a great tool because you can provide so much value with them, because it's just audio and visual component as well, and you can have other people come on and have promote others' brands as well as your own. So it's a good tool for a couple of reasons. but I wanted to feature it here just so you can see kind of the things that I consider when I think about creating a lead magnet webinar. And it is also something that you shouldn't really try until you really understand what your audience is interested in. Otherwise, you might spend, a lot of time on a lead magnet, and if it doesn't hit with your target audience, you don't want to waste that time. So I added that just to look at. And then this final template is your lead outreach planning template. So after you collect all your leads, how are you going to reach out to them? Generally, you want to prioritize your leads and reach out to them in the way that fits best with them. So your priority 1 leads are going to be leads that meet all of the key factors of an ideal customer for you, which should be defined in your buyer personas. So prioritizing and reaching out based on, what content, what method of communication is best for your audience. For example, you might follow up with someone differently if they filled out your lead magnet form than if they just emailed the info about us email address for your company, right? So those are different leads, so they should be followed up with in a different way. So those are just 3 templates that are good to start off with. And you can find these templates on reneeholden.com under the template section. So, okay, after you have thought about the type of topic, the topic that you want your lead magnet to focus on, you've found the method of transportation for your lead magnet, so webinar, PDF, digital advertising, whatever it may be, and then you come up with your outreach plan. That's pretty much the funnel, and then you should spend your time trying to optimize the 3 pieces of this funnel. So the topic, the actual tool itself, and then the lead outreach after email addresses are collected. So I wanted to highlight just an example of a tool that could be used for automating this and improving it. There are a bunch of tools like this, and I actually don't use these tools, but if you have the extra funds, it may be a good use of them to invest in something like Conversion Funnel. It shows exactly on the webpage what it does each step of the way, so you can see how this really lines up with this graphic in the beginning. You can see there are similar steps to get down to, eventually a sale of some sort, but using a tool like this can really help you automate things if you don't have the time, or you don't want to go in depth like learning about how to pick good topics, or it's time intensive to get a perfect sales funnel, but it's so important that you really have to do it if you want to be successful. So there are a lot of tools like this that are reasonably priced that you can also invest in if you don't want to maybe like create your own content or that sort of thing. So this will save a lot of time. So that's kind of the summary of how to go about creating a lead magnet. I also wanted to add a good thing to do when you're creating your lead magnet is to look at your competitors and see how the messaging that they are putting out and how they are collecting leads. Because if you and your competitor have the same audience, then they're probably finding that certain things work better than others, and you can learn from lessons that they're showing. So to kind of show that, I pulled up Lyft and Uber to highlight 2 competitors and to kind of compare and contrast 2 messages that they're each sending and how they might be generating leads independently. So in the Lyft website, you can see that they have this promotion of people, they're wearing masks in the car. That's to keep people kind of on the safer side. They have this call to action: hop in, crack a window, let's get back out there, kind of promoting people getting back out and using their services. And then they have two buttons, apply to drive and sign up to ride. If we look at the Uber page, you can see they're kind of focusing more on get in the driver's seat and get paid. So they're kind of speaking to the drivers a little bit more. And their main call to action here is sign up to drive. So what Uber and Lyft clearly have learned from one another and are on the same page about is wearing the mask, being very safe. But they are kind of targeting slightly different audiences, where Lyft is promoting and trying to get business from two different types of leads, apply to drive, so the drivers, and sign up to ride, the riders, where maybe Uber has seen more profit from promoting to the drivers more. So that's just an example of some different things you can look at when you're comparing your business to a competitor's business. It's a good idea to make note of the main messages that they're sending on their lead magnet forms and how that could apply to your audience as well. Okay, thank you for watching my video. If you are interested in more content about lead generation strategies, I will link my blog post on this topic below. And if you're interested in more lead generation or marketing strategies for your business, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Bye.